Okay, we're going to continue with the weekly All Signs love readings. We're on to Sagittarius. We're going in zodiac order. Aries through to Pisces. The other signs have been filmed in a live session yesterday and a live session 2 days before that. So we're up to Sagittarius. We will be doing Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces as well in this session. I'm using the Kinner Tarot deck. The box is there. Hi Sunseas. I hope you've all had a productive day so far. If it was a bad day, it's over now, hopefully. Time to chill, take care of your needs. Have a wash, get into your comfies, make a good meal for yourself, have a drink. I'm watching a really good series at the moment. I must be way behind because it's on Amazon Prime. And it's called Slow Horses. It's about an MI5 branch that are like, they're quite sloppy at what they do apparently, but they're being really good. And there's like 5 seasons, and the first episode I was like, what the hell is this? And then now I'm just like obsessed with it. Love a bit of espionage. Yeah, so Amazon Prime, and it's called Slow Horses. Hi Sanjita, hi Akansha. We're on the sign of Sagittarius. I've done the other signs already. Aries through to Scorpio. We're done on previous lives. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Sagittarius' highest good. How is Sagittarius feeling in this first week of October 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Sagittarius is feeling first of all, please. These are collective readings by zodiac sign. It's not a live Q&A where you jump in and ask questions, just to let you know. Oh my god, Sagittarius, you've got the 10 of Cups. Upright. That's a happy family life. So within your home at the moment, it's peaceful, it's calm. People are milling about, going about their hobbies, going about their homework, their studies, making the tea. Everything is ticking over very nicely. It's not a life where you jump in and request what you want. If you read the title, they're collective readings by zodiac sign. So collective means you watch your zodiac sign and hundreds of people will be watching it, and it should resonate for them. It doesn't mean it's going to be your individual personal reading. You would have to pay for a personal reading if you want a personal reading, but collective reading should resonate. Whoa, what have we got here? Hang on. I thought it was a coffee, that's why I went straight away, but it's actually how rude. Some people are so rude with the stuff that they write. Why are you coming into a tarot live to chat shit if you don't like tarot? It's just a nasty person. Nasty ass person having a horrible day. And now you're making us have a bad day. Too bad for you. See, the High Priestess reversed. When the High Priestess is upright, it's Pisces energy, it's water energy. It's about following your instincts, following your intuition. You know, going with your gut. What's your gut telling you? What is your intuition telling you, like, in your belief system? Everything happens for a reason. You know, when you have faith, you're like, this will all work out. It's that sense of, like, I'm kind of going with what I think is meant to be, what I think is meant to happen. Like, when it's reversed, it's like I'm struggling to connect with my faith. I'm struggling to have faith. I'm struggling to trust that everything's going to be okay. There's a lot of fear. And then the Queen of Swords is a divorce card. And then we've got heartbreak with the Three of Swords. So as far as you're concerned, Sagittarius, everything was perfect. Everything was happy. Everything was great. There was no problems. And then all of a sudden, you've had this crisis of faith, crisis of confidence, because there's divorce happening and you're absolutely heartbroken. You need to read what it says on the title for the live, because you've come into a live reading. They're collective readings by zodiac sign, and you're on the sign of Sagittarius, the cards here, but you're just typing what you want me to tell you about your personal life. So that's not the offer. The offer is you wait for your sign to come up, you watch it, and you see if it resonates. Or you watch the sign of your person and you see if it resonates. It's not like that I pull cards for you on a personal basis. That's a personal reading. Or you need to go to another channel where they're doing a live Q&A. Okay, so the one that's showing up in your reading, Sagittarius, is the Two of Wands reversed. Now, the Two of Wands, when it's upright, is a planning phase. The Two of Wands reversed is like, well, I'm not going to make any decision yet. Okay, so it's like kind of stubbornness, like not sure what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to make this just like this decision, this choice. I don't know how else to articulate what I'm telling you. Hi Tara, I'm on the sign of Sagittarius. We're just at the beginning, really. I'm just going to time out people who are ignoring what I'm saying. Because it's actually really annoying. I can't keep up with the chat. I guess maybe you're going to watch it afterwards with subtitles, but if you're spamming the same question, you're not really listening. It's bad behaviour, guys. Okay, nice. Capricorn and Pisces will be in about 40 minutes. Oh, I tell you what, that card was actually, that wasn't for your person, that was for you. So Sagittarius, you're in a place in your life where you're not comfortable with what's happening. It's caught you off guard. You think like, you know, someone's upset the apple cart. They've wrecked a family unit that didn't need to be wrecked. It was all fine how it was. It's broken your heart. You've lost your faith, and therefore you're not really looking at, you know, planning for any kind of future because you're just in shock, I think, really. Let's get some cards for the one that's showing up for you. It could be someone that you're currently dealing with, like this person that's breaking up the family unit. It could be someone that you've got on your mind, or someone that you're manifesting in the future. It's a collective reading by zodiac sign. I'm not answering personal questions in this reading. You need to look at the title. It's the Four of Swords reversed. So the Four of Swords upright would be taking some much needed respite. Okay, so like that pause between battles where you need to lay your head down, lay down your sword, which is heavy, you know, take off the armor and get some kip, you know, because you've got to be strong for the next battle. When it's reversed, it's like there's a restlessness, like I'm not taking a breath, I'm not taking a breather, I'm not going to take a kip. I want this to be dealt with now. Please don't spam questions. It's a collective reading by zodiac sign. We're on the sign of Sagittarius. Personal questions won't be answered. You have to buy a personal reading or support the channel, and when I get to 4,000 watch hours I can do live Q&As, because I know some people are insistent that they want that. But if you follow your zodiac sign and your person's zodiac sign over several months, you will have the answer to your question. You'll know exactly what's going on with them, how they're feeling from week to week. The Fool reversed. So someone's not willing to take a leap of faith and have a reset. That's not what they want. Okay, this would be like, I'm ready to take a brand new leap of faith. 0 is like a reset, you know, a new chapter. This person is, they're either not prepared to do it, or they're so prepared to do it that it's reckless. But there's a restlessness and an unwilling to take a leap of faith if we keep it too simple. I don't know why so many people are coming in asking personal questions. Like, the Justice. The Justice card is upright, so someone's creating their own justice here. They're very determined about it. There's a restlessness, you know, they're not willing to trust anything other than their own plan. Let's get 3 for the outcome. We're at a bit of a standstill, aren't we? Because there's 2 people that want opposite things. And no one's budging. They could be a Libra or have that in their chart. They could be an Aries or have that in their chart. Or that could just be the energy that this person is embodying right now. Fire and swords. I don't know if anything turned over there. The Star card reversed. So in the outcome, there's a lack of healing, okay? Because the Star card upright is a major arcana for Aquarius. And it's healing and wish fulfillment. When it's reversed, there's a lack of healing. There's a lack of wish fulfillment, okay? Let's get 2 more for the outcome. It's not the outcome that you're going to want, okay? It's the 4 of Wands reversed. The 4 of Wands upright is, well, 4's the most stable number in the tarot deck. The 4 of Wands is like 4 walls to a house, 4 legs to a chair. It's stability, it's openness, exclusive relationship. Everyone in the village, the town, the city knows about it, knows that you two are together, knows that you live together, that you're married. It's reversed, okay? So if you take a leg off a chair that has 4 legs, if you take a wall off a house, it becomes unstable. It's broken. It's not going to be how it was. It's not a strong union anymore. And that's in the outcome. Now, I'm English. I live in the northwest of England, so I don't speak Hindi. It'll be translated automatically by YouTube. The Devil card reversed. So we're getting free from codependency, free from obsession, free from infatuation, toxicity. The Devil is the major arcana for Capricorn. Let's get a no contact message. Focused on money. I'm currently focusing on my career and finances. My main priority is financial stability. So they're really trying to focus on their job, on their security, the finances. What's the nature of this connection, please? These are collective readings by zodiac sign. We're on the sign of Sagittarius at the moment. So you need to watch your sign or the sign of your person, the one that you're curious about. Or go to a channel where there's live Q&As if you want questions answered. Open yourself to others. This is how you will create new friendships and attract a love relationship. So this person is not interested in having a rebirth of this connection. They're not sorry at what they've done. They don't regret their decision. Your advice is to be open to other people now. I think I'm gonna have to get a couple of sentences translated and put in the channel description, because people just aren't getting the message. I still don't have all the answers. So although they can't explain why this is all happening, they don't necessarily, you know, have a sort of premeditated plan that they're executing. It's just evolving, and they're going with what they feel is right, what they feel is just, what they feel is fair for themselves. They're still feeling lost or having like sensations of like, you know, fear or anxiety. Their main objective is to focus on their financial freedom, which is why you're being encouraged to open up to others, because this person isn't going to change their mind. Why have they got the Fool reversed? Why are they not willing to take a leap of faith and have a do-over? Why are they restless? Distant, so far away, physically and emotionally. See if you can rekindle the passion again. So the passion could have been lost from this union a long time ago. If you're married, if you have children, there could have been a lack of intimacy for many years. Deadly combo, dangerous when together, triggering, explosive. You could have been prone to rouse, disagreements, you know, passive-aggressive silences. Tangled, unable to free yourself from a sticky situation, taking a step back helps you to see clearly. They could have got themselves involved with an outside, you know, person or people. Bad timing, too little too late, taken, not ready to love again. Yeah, they've dabbled in relationships, you know, outside of this marriage already. Hi, Christian. Silent remnants. Amid the uncertainty, love has the power to rebuild trust. Running, sorry, running away. Someone's running away. Outdated, discarded, outdated, irrelevant, old news. I think this person is running away because they just feel like the way of life, what you've been living as, is outdated somehow. It's okay. Got my coffee now. Let's get the unspoken truth. It does seem like they view this as a contract that has expired. If love had a weight, would you still carry it? To me, that says like, you know, it's become like burdensome in part, like this marriage, this union, this connection. You can't just be happy for the good times, and when the bad times start to outweigh the good times, that's a sign, that something is becoming toxic, that it's not actually, love's supposed to lighten your load, it's supposed to be supportive and understanding, and you're supposed to be a little team, like a little army of two against the world. But if you're army of one, and you're two separate, like units warring with each other, like that's not conducive to a happy home. I'm so close to turning off the chat. Hi Rani. Hi Shivu. I'm just putting people in timeout because I can't follow the chat. It's a love reading, it's collected by zodiac sign, so please don't spam individual questions. Hi Pranshu. My voice is perfectly clear. If you don't speak English, it'll be translated automatically. I went away for 30 seconds to get my coffee off my dad. My voice is clear. Get a clearer view first. Okay, so I think sometimes our judgment is clouded because there's what the reality is and there's what we want things to be like. And possibly you're looking at things through a lens of what I want things to be like or how things used to be. Let things marinate for a bit, sit in what's happening, let the shock, wash over you and calm down, and then have a good think about realistically what your options are. Serenity. Find serenity in nature's embrace. Nature is your sanctuary. Please don't put personal questions in the chat. These are collective readings by zodiac sign. It does say that in the title, and I've said it lots of times. Let's get you some mindful messages. It's not personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. So it's not about you not being good enough, Sagittarius, and it's not about you even doing anything to piss this person off, but they have mood swings. If they get short-tempered, if they're distressed, it's something they're going through as an individual. Okay, so you need to like focus on yourself and what's best for you, and letting go of this person, because they're already stressed and under strain, and they know they don't want to be in this situation. They want to be able to focus on work, and they have already dabbled in other connections, so they're kind of way ahead of you in terms of healing. They feel like this is their justice. So, you know, looking at it from that perspective, you wouldn't want to be pining for someone that sees it as their justice to leave you. I'm sorry for anyone that's going through this at the moment. It's really not nice. I've been there. Okay, let's get some good fortune cards. A forgotten spell will bring you unexpected blessings. So there's something that you wished the universe to give you. There's something you've been working towards, and you are going to be granted that. It could have been something you asked for up to a year ago. The moon's phases align with your desires. Make a wish. Okay, so you're being invited to ask for something that you like, that you would want. A time of great prosperity is on the horizon. Okay, so you're going to be absolutely fine financially. A sacred ritual will bring you clarity and insight. Okay, so it could be meditation or a little routine that you've got in order to get grounded, like going for a walk in nature. It could be going to yoga. It could be a sound bath. Just a really good sleep. But you know, you're going to get clarity and feel the courage and the strength to walk forwards and feel more focused, you know, than you do right now. It's all going to get better. Let's get you an angel number. Okay, you've got 666, reflect. Several unexpected developments will enter your life and impact how you feel. This is a chance to reevaluate your identity. Oh my God, this goes so well, doesn't it? You need a mental shift towards greater optimism, self-assurance, and trust. Put your faith in your gut and inner voice. Pay attention to your feelings and use them to help you become a better person. Okay, so the more you cling on and the more you reject what's happening and go into denial and get upset, the more of a victim you're going to feel. But if you're honest with yourself and you write down a list of things that actually were really annoying about this person, or actually really irritating, or things that you've always had to compromise on because of them, that you won't have to in the future, you'll start to gain balance, you know, and get a little bit angry and a bit more impartial, in terms of, okay, it's not the best, however, I gain X, Y, and Z from this happening, and I can't stop it from happening, so I might as well look at the positives. Yeah, one foot in front of the other. You haven't got to be happy about it. No one's saying you've got to be happy about it, but acceptance is the best thing for you, because mentally you'll be able to place things and pack things, you know, reframe it so that you feel in control and at least it's accepting of what's going on. You don't have to like it. No one's saying you got to like it, because you're not going to like it, but it is going to fall together. It is going to pan out. Like, this is what's supposed to happen. It feels like it wasn't supposed to happen, but it is. Anything that happens is supposed to happen. Okay, there's meaning behind it. There's a journey that you're on. Try to zoom out, way, way, way out, past the clouds, past the atmosphere, into the cosmos, and see yourself as a dot, you know, that's at the behest of the divine plan. Okay, a little bit cryptic at the end, but basically, no, you haven't got to like it at all, but don't pine for this person, because they're not pining for you. They want you to move on. Okay. Most people won't want to think about future love if they're going through this, but I will, in case you're just angry and you can't wait to find someone new or even fancy someone new. Let's say, when is Sagittarius going to have their next crush? Because I doubt you're going to be in love straight away. Who knows? But the next crush. You're going to crush on someone in a couple of weeks and you're going to be like, what? That's weird. That's wild. Okay. That's you done, Sagittarius. Please take care. Please give this a like. If it resonates, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, hype the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Right, we're going on to Capricorn. There's a lot for you to be looking forward to there, because you've got, you know, a time of great prosperity. You've got a crush in a couple of weeks. You're still going to be you. That person's going through whatever evolution they're evolving. But you were always you. You were always great. You were a person before you met them. And you are a person after they leave. Okay. Someone who's got it all. Someone who's a person to be with. Don't chase someone that's running away from you. You deserve better than that. Hi, Angela. Hi, Paresh, Tajinder, Angela. Hi, Maria. This is a collective reading by zodiac sign. We're just starting the sign of Capricorn. So I'm just going to hide personal questions because this isn't a live Q&A. Hi, GS Chinchi or Kinchi. Sorry if I mispronounce. Let's have a shuffle. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Capricorn's highest good. How is Capricorn feeling in this first week of October 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Capricorn, please. Right, Capricorn, you've got the 5 of Swords reversed, so you are trying to be a peacemaker at the moment. You do not want to argue with someone. Guys, this isn't a live Q&A, it's collective readings by zodiac sign. I'm on the sign of Capricorn. You need to watch the sign of your person or your sign. If you want an individual question answered, you can buy a personal reading. The link to my PayPal is in my channel description. You can put £18 in my PayPal account and tell me what your question is, or ask for a general reading, or ask for love, business, career, finance, health reading, whatever it is that you want. But you mustn't spam this collective reading with personal questions because they won't be answered. It does say collective readings by zodiac sign in the title. Gemini was done 2 lives ago. So Julia, if you go to or Jahelia, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. If you go to the lives playlist and you look at the live 2 lives down, not 1 down but 2 down, you'll find the Gemini reading. I'll also post them as separate readings as well. Right, Capricorn, you've got the 8 of Wands reversed with the 6 of Wands reversed. So there's blocks, delays, stagnancy, and you feel a lack of success, a lack of recognition. And this is coming after wanting to avoid arguments. If those cards were upright, you'd feel like there's fast action, there's progress, there's fast communication, you'd feel celebrated, worthy, recognised, successful. So we got the opposite of that when it's all reversed. You're welcome. The Queen of Wands reversed. The Queen of Wands, when it's upright, is major Sagittarius energy. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's fire energy. The Wands are phallic. They represent passion, ambition, motivation. It's someone who's a go-getter, like solar plexus activated. Someone who's, action orientated, gets what they want. Someone who's attractive, unrelenting. When it's reversed, it could be, it's negative, so it's either feeling weak, feeling disemboldened, not going for what you want, feeling disempowered, or it could be someone who's overly lusting, someone who's, pushing everyone to the side to get what they want. Could represent a third party, because in love readings, the Queen of Wands can be the other man or the other woman. Now, thanks for the loves, that's really kind. Because it's following on from this lack of victory, not wanting to argue, stagnancy, blocks, delays, I would say that it's like you are feeling disemboldened, because these are your cards, Capricorn, it's on your side of the reading. I would say that you're feeling very stuck, very stagnant. You don't want drama, however, you feel ignored, you feel depleted. All that the past will do is give you context, okay? And context is quite important, because for example, if you had, I'm trying to think of an example. If your past was heartbreak, right? If we're talking about love, for example, if your past card was heartbreak, then your present was healing, and then your future card was new love. New love would be shown by a Page of Wands. I would be able to say, like, you're going to be with someone new. If your future card was the Ace of Wands, I'd say that you're going to have a rebirth with your person. So it does give context. But it depends. It depends. Why are you asking anyway? You could be someone that in your past, you're 9 of Pentacles and you're not heartbroken and you're just single and loving life. And then you could be like, in your present, you could be like, you could get the Fool card showing that you're ready to take a leap of faith into something new, but you don't know what. And then you could get the 7 of Cups in your future, which is just, I don't know where I'm headed, but I'm kind of open. Do you know what I mean? So it gives context. It's like a cartoon strip, like everything's in order, of like in time order. What do you mean? Like, I'm just looking, I'm not talking to you now, Jahelia, I'm talking to Agent Smith. I'm not neglected by my parents, if you're referring to me. We're a very loving family. I'm 40 years old. I've lived by myself, I've lived all over the world. I'm a very successful high school teacher. I'm not neglected by my parents, and I don't make things up. I've got life experience because I'm middle-aged. I'm talking about real things that have happened. I don't make anything up, babe. If you don't believe in tarot, why are you watching it? I'm wondering why you're going into live streams to say nasty things to people with your free time. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to go. I think you need to go and get a life for yourself. You definitely need to go and get a life for yourself, whoever you are. Agent Knobhead. Why would that make me neglected by my parents? That's so weird. Like, what a conclusion to jump to. Also, like, that's not very nice for anyone that has been neglected by their parents that's looking for support. Tarot is personal development, and it's using connection to the divine. It's getting information from source, people that are passed on. They're omnipresent. They know everything. Like, it's not... I just don't understand some people. Like, because they can't place it, it's wrong. Because they've had a bad day, they're just going to come and road rage at people. Whatever, mate. Let's see what comes out for your person, Capricorn. Hi, Namira, that's nice. I'm feeling very well, actually. Bit irked by some people, but we can't change that. 7 of Cups, upright. See, that's weird because I was talking about the 7 of Cups, wasn't I? So, Capricorn, the person that you feel ignored by, it's because they're kind of fantasizing about what's next for them. They feel that they're at a crossroads. Okay, so in each of these cups is something different. And this is like a daydreaming, like a fantasizing, like, what do I want for myself next? So they could be distant for that reason. Some people are just, yeah. It's like it either clashes with a belief that they have, so they just can't reconcile with it at all, or they just like someone who's purely science and they don't like it and they'll never open their mind up to it. I never thought I'd be into tarot. When I was at my 20s, I kind of looked down on it myself. And then tarot found me when I was in a time of darkness 5 years ago, and I've never looked back. Like, absolutely love it, and helps me process everything I've gone through in my life and helps loads of people. And that's all it's supposed to do. It's only supposed to help. I don't know, like, why he thinks I'm neglected by my parents. Like, I'm spoiled, if anything. Too bad for him. 10 of Swords. Reverse. Sorry, so 10 of Swords upright is the end of a very painful cycle. Swords are thoughts. Okay, so these are like feelings and thoughts that are very, very painful. It's the most upset anyone can be, the most pain anyone can take. I don't get that though, because they've got that after the 7 of Cups, so that's a bit the wrong way round, isn't it? You'd think they would be the other way, because that timeline should really be, I've reached the end, can't take anymore, and now I'm at a crossroads. But it's like this person has got that the other way around. Someone put as well, pull a card and throw it down the toilet. I only left like my seat for like probably about 40 seconds, and someone had written that, and I was just like, oh, that's nice. Bloody hell. It's quite funny though, that as a sentence, like, throw it down the toilet. I don't know. Some very like miserable people out there. The Seven of Wands, when it's in the challenge position, is, have I got the balls? Have I got what it takes to step up to the plate, to take on the challenge? Have I got it? Because if it's upright, it's like, I'm gonna go for what I want. It's a very competitive energy, like wands are fire, passion, drive, motivation, and this is like jousting with other people so that you come out a winner. Whereas like when it's reversed, it's like you're feeling at a loss, feeling at a disadvantage, feeling like, well, I'm not going to go for that promotion because there's not a chance I'll get it. You know, this is like, as a challenge, this is like, can I step it up? Have I got what it takes? So someone's kind of had thoughts about finding a new path for themselves. They've reached the end of a very tough cycle, and then they're like, have I got what it takes to like put myself out there again? Pisces hasn't been done yet, Thomas. It'll be in like 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, maybe an hour. Hi, Malik. I'm a bit offended by what someone wrote there, so I've just deleted it. Let's get 3 for the outcome. The Seven of Swords. Okay, the Seven of Swords is cloak and dagger behavior. So it's like making moves in silence behind the backs of others, like deceit, cheating, lying, stealing, doing something that's underhand. It has to be hidden because people wouldn't be okay with it. That's in the outcome. I think this person wants out from a connection with you, you know. I know that's like awful, but that's what it's looking like. And it's like they've got an exit plan. They've been thinking about it a little while, and Four of Cups is being closed off to offers of emotion from others. You know, if someone were to approach and ask you out, you'd say no thank you because your heart's closed off. These are cups of emotion. And Four of Cups is like, I would reject someone if they came towards me now. And I feel like you as a Queen of Wands, you know, are feeling rubbish, feeling neglected, feeling not seen by this person, and then the outcome, you know, that they might be quite underhand and they're kind of like moving on. They may not have shared this with you, and so that's what's underhand about it. They may not have shared these desires and they've had these thoughts for a while. You know, that is like betrayal, isn't it? Because really, as soon as you're starting to think that way, you should be communicating that with your partner. They shouldn't be the last to know. This isn't goodbye. I don't want to walk away, but it's what's best for me and us right now. This isn't goodbye. We will be together again soon. That is really odd. Maybe something's not the right timing. I mean, you are showing up, Capricorn, as a Queen of Wands. So you could be someone that's entertaining a connection with someone that's already taken. And therefore they're not in any position to kind of like make this work. It's made them think. Because that would make sense why they've got a blank canvas and they're looking at possibilities for the future, but then they're just experiencing so much pain. It's like, I haven't got the strength to do this right now. And so they might fall into no contact, but then they might reappear, you know, like in a month or two or a year or so. Like, let's keep going. What's the nature of this connection? Oh my God. I was going to say, it sounds like a twin flame journey. And so I don't know if this person's like off and on with you every like, you know, first of all, it starts off, they leave you for a few days and then you hear from them. Then they leave you a few weeks and you hear from them. Then it's turning into months at a time and you're like, what the hell? You know, and then so you break contact and then it's like a year and a half. And you're like, that's definitely it. Come on, like, look how long it's been with zero contact. And then they come back. But like in that year or year and a half, they've changed everything about their circumstances. If this is someone who's taken, or this is someone who for some reason isn't available to you because they're in another country, or, you know, they haven't got their ducks in a row or whatever it is, like they are likely to come back. But having created a tower in their life so that everything's different and things are actually possible. I can't believe that came out, you know. Whoever that was bitching about me can go gag on it, because I am actually so good at this shit. I'm so good, it's like untrue. I'm fucking made up with that, you know. If you're spamming, I'm gonna put you in a timeout. This isn't a live for personal questions. It's collective readings by zodiac sign. I think some people are probably going to watch the auto translations and then be like, oops, oopsie. Anna, I dated a guy for 3 months, after which he ended things with me because he said he was nowhere near the person he wants to be in his life. And just like that, he gave up on me and now I can't move on. Anna, that happened to me as well. And guess what? After 1.5 years of us doing our own thing, he came back having changed his life completely. He came back having changed his life completely, and I never thought he'd do it. So it could be a twin flame connection. It's worth buying a personal reading, Anna, because certainly watch your sign and their sign. Because when you follow the long-term narrative, I know people want like an answer now about whether they're going to be with this person or not, but you're only going to get an answer based off how things are in that person's heart and in that person's mind and how their current reality is this week. So the answer could be no, you're not going to be together this week, and then in 1 year it could be yes, you're going to be together. Do you know what I mean? So you need to follow, like, consistently follow like the readings sort of month by month to see what's going on with them and what's going on with you, and you'll get your answer like that. But I totally understand if you want a personal reading, or you know, you'll have to support the channel and I'll do live Q&As, but I still would be wary of ever just asking a question so absolute as, are we going to be together, yes or no, because you're only going to get how the energy is that given week. Everything's movable. So you don't want to get a no and then be like upset thinking you're never going to be together when actually everything's changing all the time. I hope that makes sense. So Capricorn, you are experiencing a twin flames journey. So with this person, it's likely to be very magnetic, very sexual, but emotional as well, and very frustrating. Like you can't get close to this person. They keep running away. They keep disappearing. It's off, then it's on, then it's on, then it's off, you know, and it just gets to a point where you put your foot down and you're like, do you know what? No, I'm not doing this. It's hurting me too much because I'm in love with them. I even feel like they're in love with me. However, they're not making themselves available to me. They've got things that they need to sort out their end. I'm going to sort out my shit, my end. Surrender this to the universe and just say, if we're meant to be together, you know, then please help this to come together. But I'm surrendering it and I'm going to focus on myself. And that's what I did. And the person came back a few weeks ago, having changed everything in their life. And it's totally different. It's totally different now. Like, it's healthy instead of toxic. I lie awake thinking about our future. Oh my God. Look, I told you, this is someone that is fantasizing about being with you. They literally, that's like, you know, when you lie in bed and you just kind of smile thinking about any little interaction you've had with someone that you really care about, but you can't, you're not available to be with them. It's not, it has to stay like a dream. And then, yeah, it's causing them like hella amounts of pain and anxiety. So they must actually love you. That's the most pain someone can feel, is like they're not allowed to live. You know, in an ideal world, they'd just like wife you up or hubby you up, but they can't because they're not available. And so they feel like disempowered at the moment because they're so stressed. They can't think about how to sort this out. And so maybe that they slip away for a given amount of time, like a significant time period, and you just can't believe how they've managed to just let go just like that, but they haven't really. They're actually thinking about you day and night. And over time, it'll get to a point where the person can't carry on living a lie, and they'll do what needs to be done in order to live authentically, and they'll come and, restart things, but everything will be like a level playing field where it was, tough mudder. It will be like a walk in the park. So why does this person feel unhappy in their current connection? Because I'm guessing that they're already married or taken somehow. Living in a fantasy land, illusions, not real love. Distant, so far away physically and emotionally. See if you can rekindle the passion again. Yeah, well, that just kind of confirms that they spend their time thinking about you, even though they're not with you. They're not in your company. You may feel like you have a psychic connection with this person, and the amount that you spend thinking about them is kind of like borderline obsession. But it's because they're thinking about you. It's a psychic connection. You're supposed to be flames that are drawn towards each other. And in the twin flame scenario, one person's a runner and the other person's a chaser. And the runner runs and the other person will feel alone and chase them. And then they'll think, I'm not doing this. If you've got healthy connection and you're from an attachment, healthy attachment, childhood, you'll realise that you shouldn't have to chase someone that's running away from you, and you'll stop and you'll turn around, you'll go the other way, and that person will go, what? Where did they go? Like, I don't like how it feels. I don't like this. And then they'll chase. So they change from being someone that's a runaway to someone that's a chaser. Okay. And then you'll get to enjoy being chased for a while, but that'll happen on and off. And then you'll just be like, I'm cutting the bullshit here and I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this game. This is toxic. It feels like we're both trying to give the other the cold shoulder, or I'm having to think and wait 2 days before I reply to something because I don't want to look like a loser because they've been ignoring me. So why would I now answer straight away? And do you know what I mean? It gets to such a point where you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's when this person has to blow everything apart. But if you're having to undo things like a family scenario, you have got to take several months to think, am I going to do this to my family? Am I going to do this? And stand up to everyone that's going to have something to say about it. Am I prepared to start again financially, or from a lower place than what I'm in now? And some people do and some people don't. But it can't. Your connection isn't going to have legs. It isn't going to function healthily until they do that. Even when they do it, then it can. And that's the reward, because in that time that you've been apart, like a year and a half, you'll have worked on yourself. They'll have worked on themselves. Things will have physically and practically changed, emotionally changed, financially changed, and you'll be on a level playing field, one that's healthy. And they'll have missed you that much, and they'll have changed so much in their life that they're willing to, like, just put themselves out there now. So it's one of those that's really chaotic and uncomfortable and toxic, and then you get the reward, you know, like after doing the work, both of you. The only thing is you can't control, you might start working on yourself first, but you can't control the pace at which they work on themselves. That's down to them. So they can take a little bit longer, but normally you won't be able to tell if they're working on themselves because they'll be so secretive about it. It's a big deal. You keep things private like that. So you might even think that they don't care and that they're just absolutely happy where they are, but this is the twin flame journey, okay? So it's profound, and it's more profound than a soulmate connection because you're both triggering healing in one another. And so that's bigger than anything, really. That's the biggest impact you could have on any soul in their lifetime, isn't it? More than having decades of marriage and kids. If you trigger someone to heal their soul, it's significant. It's something no one else is able to do for them, even after decades of marriage. Let's keep clarifying. Shadowed waters. Beware illusions that skim the surface, for true understanding lies in the deep. Yeah, there's you know, you can understand like on a surface level. I'm married, I have a home, I go to work, I'm getting older. Like, you can understand these things on a surface level, but when you properly soul search and you follow your gut and you get these pangs or these thoughts in the back of your head, or you start getting migraines or stress symptoms, and you start wondering about like where you're supposed to be, you know, all it is a matter of time until you bump into someone without even looking that really ignites your soul and makes you think like, I feel like I'm alive again and I've not been living for years. And it's not to do with sex, like you'll be attracted to each other, but you'll realise really quickly that there's emotion behind it. It's emotionally loaded, and you can't understand why you and that person feel so drawn to each other, and you can't understand why you're doing what you're doing, but you're not really supposed to. Like, it's not a conscious thing, it's just happens, and it triggers healing that hasn't been done, you know. And it could have been that you've got to like middle age and you haven't healed certain things in yourself, and now is the time that it's going to happen. You know, why does anyone marry like a person and then realise they're not supposed to be with them? Well, maybe they were happy for years, maybe, you know, babies came along accidentally and then that prompted marriage. Maybe society, you know, makes us think that we need to settle at some point, and so we do. Maybe we're trauma bonded to someone, you know, they love to be a chaser and you love to be a runner. But they're not like, you know, it could be like a false flame, like, so they're not really healing you, they're actually encouraging you to keep running because they love to chase you. They're not turning away, prompting healing in you. They're just continuing to chase you and let you do your thing, so you're not really breaking any patterns. I hope that makes sense. Like, someone who's very domineering and someone who's very submissive will trauma bond to each other because one person feels more secure constantly being overbearing and controlling, and the other person feels more secure being controlled, you know, and being told what to do and having, and they're like, oh, they're just so intense about me because they care about me. They're never going to leave, you know, and the person who's controlling is like, they let me do anything to them, therefore they're never going to leave. They haven't got the confidence to, therefore I'm never going to be alone. That's not necessarily healthy. That's actually toxic, you know, and you become more and more submissive, and it goes more extreme, and they become more and more domineering and controlling, and they get worse, you know, as a person, and you get worse as a person. So twin flames isn't that. Twin flames is like, I ain't doing this. You go and heal yourself, I'll work on myself. And then you just think that whatever happens, like, as long as they're like happy, unconditional love, like, I hope they find happiness at some point, and you have to let it go and you have to surrender it, and the universe brings you back together. It's very different. It's not toxic at all. Just to make the distinction. Sexual protection. So they could have actually slept with you. They definitely, it's getting a bit like R-rated here, but they definitely like masturbate and like think about you. They're very, very drawn to you. That's the twin flames journey. You're probably doing that about each other. Fake apology. Say this person will likely breadcrumb you, Capricorn, because if someone's married, they can't give you their time. They can't be blowing up your phone, and you can't be blowing up their phone, because someone's going to see. They might make arrangements, and then stuff comes up that family say, oh, can you just do this? And then they've already made plans, so they can't be like, oh, but I'm just about to see my mistress, or I'm just about to see. They can't do that, can they? There's no reason why they wouldn't be available. So they've got to cancel on you and let you down. So they'll do, you know, do these things will happen, and they'll apologize, and it's just, they know full well. Sometimes they'll make plans with you knowing full well they can't make it, but they just think you're going to leave otherwise. So they're laying down breadcrumbs to draw you in, to keep you interested. Sometimes they know they can't make that date, they can't make that time, but they'll suggest it and even say, yep, great, can't wait to see it, and then cancel it because they just think that you're going to lose interest, and they're going to lose you if they don't do that. So that's what breadcrumbing is. So that's when you get fake apologies, where it's like, yeah, they say, I'm so sorry, it's like this, it's like that, I didn't think this was going to come up, and like, losing you taught me love isn't about possession. Yeah, so they got a lot of happiness from meeting you. They feel like a new person, like they dream and fantasize about, you know, making it real with you, but they kind of feel like to a point it can only ever be a dream. And they definitely breadcrumbed you and created, you know, disappointments one after the other that have really hurt you and made you feel, you know, unimportant. It's reflected back to you the opposite of how they actually see you. They see you as, you know, highly valuable, and it's not being reflected to you because they're not available. They haven't got the capacity to give you what you should have. You know, you should get more time from them. You should be number one priority. You should be feeling special and getting attention from them. And They know that. They know that they've been toxic. So that's the unspoken truth. So the fact that that says losing you taught me love isn't about possession, and then we've got this moving on card. You're definitely, and it says this isn't goodbye. Oh my God, this is so good. You're definitely into that phase where you've had a significant amount of time apart. Let's get a divine timing. When will this reconciliation happen? If it tells us to mind our own business, then it needs to be several more months. When will this reconciliation happen for these twin flames? Divine timing is at play. You don't need to worry about how you handle this, okay? Just, like I said, surrender it. Say, if I'm meant to be with this person, you know, then I would love that to happen. But ultimately, I want them to be happy and not be having mental breakdowns and not be feeling lonely, not be feeling dissatisfied with their life. That's unconditional love, you know, whether it means me being with them in the end or not, I just want them to be happy. And then you focus on yourself. And you are going to reconcile, because it says divine timing is at play. It says this isn't goodbye. We will be together again soon, twin flames. That's why you can't get over this person, even though they made you feel a kind of way and it made you feel shit and you recognise it to be toxic. They are going to make themselves available to you. They're going to you won't recognise this person once they're done with their healing. It's going to be a different playing field altogether. Different parameters that you're working with, and all's going to be possible. It's very exciting. It's very exciting. Transformation. Transformation is brewing. Embrace change and harness its magic. Right, what else do I need to pull? Let's get you an angel number and a mindful message. Loving friends. I surround myself with people who inspire me and grow together with me. My friends raise me up and hold me to the best that I can be. I am loved unconditionally and supported throughout my journey. I release old friendships which may be toxic or keeping me stagnant. Okay, so you got to distance yourself from anyone who's talking negatively. You know how this person looks at you. You know how they touch you. You know when someone's in love with you. And whilst it may not be socially acceptable to other people, this is your journey and this is this person's journey, and you just have to trust your instincts. You're going to think that you're going crazy. You're going to think that you're telling yourself this is all going to work out. And it's just something that you're just telling yourself that because it's what you want to hear, and that you're dumb, and that you're this, and that you're that, and that you're going to feel like your intuition's gaslighting you. But secretly, you're going to be like, but I know we're going to be together. As long as you're making positive progress, you know, like when it comes to your work, your career, your business, whatever it is, your health, you know, you're starting new hobbies, joining clubs, associations, like you're going places you've always wanted to go. So you can't go wrong, can you? You can't go wrong. But usually just when you're about to give up and you know, download a match, or you like start considering dating other people, because usually you keep your heart free for a good year and a half, because you're in love with this person, even though you're not supposed to be. That's when they come back. But it can't fail, like it's already written. But if you knew that, you wouldn't do any work on yourself. If they knew that, they wouldn't do any work on themselves. So both of you are going to be like, oh my God, I miss my person. You know, I've effed up. Like, how has this gone so wrong? Will we ever see each other again? All this be going through your head for all these months, and then something, you know, something will, however you used to contact each other, you'll be called to look at that app, or you'll be called to, you know, send a message, or they'll do it, and it's weird. You'll have been trying to get in touch with each other, and you'll have kept missing each other. It's wild, right? It's just, you're gonna get what you want. You're gonna get a reunion. It's a case of when, it's not if. Let's get an angel number. 0909, new beginnings. Great chance, is that? Great chance, opportunity, courage, accomplishment, endings, conclusions, big love. Look out for an opportunity that might be a game changer. You are completing something major. It feels good to level up. Close the old chapter, a new adventure will unravel. You could be having a financial level up in this time, that, you know, maybe your business goes from strength to strength while you've surrendered this, you know, relationship, this connection, this situationship to the universe. You could have a financial level up because of all this like focus, this determination to develop your own self, your own career. You're completing something major. It feels good to level up. But I mean, this is also going to happen with this relationship. You're going to get what you want. I think that's it for you guys. Please give this reading a like if it resonates. Share, subscribe, follow, repost, hype the channel, support the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks, Capricorn. We're going to go on to Aquarius. What a reading. That was insane. That was insane. Shit. Just ignore that. Just knock something over. Oh, I'm so glad that resonates in a mirror. It was really beautiful, that reading, and Totally genuine. Definitely don't make up stories because I'm neglected by my parents. Oh, I can't. It really like gets to me when people say crap like that. But that, you know, like what's so funny is like it just actually like went so well that it's probably pissed that person off really bad. I know there's a few people actually. I've got someone that buys regular readings from me, and that's definitely going to resonate for him. That's what I mean about the collective readings. Like they're well worth watching. Don't overlook it and think, well, how can that possibly resonate for lots of people though? Like, how does that work? Because I used to think that, and so I was nervous about doing collective readings. But it, honestly, people are open mouthed. They're like, I can't believe how well that resonates. So I can only think that there's lots of people of the same zodiac sign are supposed to learn a particular lesson in their life and have particular experiences. I can't 100% explain tarot, but I know that there's loads in it, and yeah, I mean, if someone tried to fully justify any religion, they wouldn't be able to. If they had to explain it 100%, they couldn't. Do you know what I mean? Just because something isn't tangible doesn't mean it's not real, it's not worthy. So it's a phenomenon. It's miraculous. It's amazing. Life is a wild ride. That's what's cool about it, I guess. Okay, Aquarius, your turn. You have to watch the sign of your person or watch your sign, the collective readings by zodiac sign. You're not supposed to drop into collective readings and then demand a question to be answered. I don't know how else to put that. It's tarot law, okay? It's tarot 101. You have to drop into a live question and answer, and that's normally for members only if it's a big channel. So you'd have to subscribe anyway. I might make it available to anyone that can pay there in a live Q&A. I won't say it's members only, because I don't think everyone can afford subscriptions. Well, I've got to get 4,000 watch hours before I can offer live Q&As. And I'd rather help everybody than only help people that can pay. So I do collective readings. They resonate for me. Like, I watch about 6 or 7 different channels regularly. And I watch my sign and I watch the sign of my person. And oh my God, it resonates. Like, it's resonated for 3 years. I do buy personal readings, but I probably buy like 1 or 2 a year. I don't really buy them frequently or ask for questions to be answered. I'm sure there was a card that was like facing the wrong way. A reading might also make sense if it's like from your person's perspective, even though it's your sign. Sometimes it goes like that if someone's, yeah, see, look, that's overturned. Say if you're a twin flame that's reunited, their energy might heavily show up in a reading. more than if you no contact. I think that'd be all right. I think I accidentally hid someone. Hi, Moondust. I've accidentally hidden someone. I've hidden Anna and I didn't mean to. Sorry, Anna. Your message was probably next to someone else's in the chat. Spirit guides, the universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aquarius's highest good. How is Aquarius feeling in this first week of October 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? Three cards for how Aquarius is feeling. The Page of Swords. Okay, the Page of Swords is when you are trying to learn, trying to research, gather information. So you see that they have their back turned and they're kind of peeking over their shoulder. They've got the sword raised, you know, they're hidden under a cloak with a hood up. This person does not wish to be seen, but they're trying to get more information. It's a card of studying, spying, watching, observing. But it's like trying to be inconspicuous, you know? So I don't know who it is that you're watching. You could be, you know, in modern terms, you could be watching someone's social media. You could be asking others, you know, about this person, trying to get updates on them. You could be driving by somewhere they frequent, or if you know that you're at the same gym, you know, like going to the gym and hoping you bump into them, or just maybe they don't, like, they're not aware you exist or whatever, and you're like trying to just observe because it's a new person that started in work, or do you know what I mean? Like someone in your environment or online, or asking around, you know, mutual friends, mutual colleagues, acquaintances. Okay, there's a bit of a narrative here. We've got a combination. It's the Knight of Swords reversed, the Six of Pentacles upright, the Two of Cups upright, the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords reversed, and the Nine of Wands upright. Okay, let's talk about each one. Well, the Knight of Swords is following on from the Page of Swords, okay? But a knight, instead of watching and gathering information, they're on the move, okay? So this person has jumped onto the back of a mythical bird or beast, and they're flying through the air. They're going so fast that there's feathers fluttering down. You know, the hair's flying in the wind. It's a fast energy, very, very quick moving energy, fast paced, and it's to do with something that needs to be said, something that needs to be spoken. So it's going towards the person that you've got something to say to. That's reversed though. So the opposite of talking to someone and telling them something is holding it back. Yeah, holding back communication, keeping something to yourself. It's in combination with the Six of Pentacles. So we've got one. Why am I counting them when I know it's 6? I went into like early years teaching mode then. We've got 1, 2, 3. That's so funny. So it'd be 3 pentacles from your side, 3 pentacles from their side. And it's fair. We've got the scales of justice. So these are increments of time, money, and energy. And that's upright. So I think there's something you want to say about fairness, about equal, you know, like we each put in half. This is the 2 of Cups. So this is 2 people that they're each offering the other a cup of emotion. It's new love, okay? 2 is at the beginning of a cycle. In tarot, the numbers run from 1 through to 10, and 0 is a reset. So that would be a leap of faith into a new chapter. So the beginning of a new chapter is 2 of Cups, and it's mutual. You know, when you're dating and you think, gosh, I've fallen for this person, and you know that you, Aquarius, you believe that you are in love with someone and they're in love with you. Let's look at the next one. Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, so a Queen of Pentacles is someone who could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, but they don't have to be. It could be someone who is very grounded, very down to earth. They're really nice and relaxed and calm. They make a beautiful home. They look nice. They spend lots of money on themselves. They spend lots of money on other people. They earn well, like they earn good, they spend good. Do you know what I mean? It got a good relationship with money. They feel secure with finances. They're in their feminine energy, being a queen. They're very caring when it comes to the people around them or people in the community. A King of Pentacles is also generous, is also giving, also has, you know, a good relationship with the material world. However, in a masculine energy, like a king or an emperor, there's a kind of focus where we would be able to be more single-minded and go, do you know what, for the greater good, not everyone's going to like it, but this is the decision that I'm going to make. A queen or an empress is someone that's going to think, how is each individual person going to feel in this situation? It is more, yeah, considering like how everything affects every person. They could be a mum, they could be a homeowner. It's someone who's used to being a provider. They've got a certain amount of responsibility. They could have a successful business or be in a decent job. Because they're showing up as a Queen of Pentacles. They could be widowed, they could be married, but they don't have to be. They could be a single person that just is very responsible, very nurturing. The 7 of Swords is reversed. Now, the 7 of Swords upright is something that's underhand, something that's kept in the dark. It's hidden under this cloak. It's secrets. Okay, so secrets being exposed. Something that was kept under wraps is now out in the open. And we've got the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands, sorry, I've just knocked the tripod. The 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. It's someone that's been taking on different challenges that have been coming up for a while, and they're prepared to keep on going. Even if it's challenging, even if it's difficult, they're going to keep on going because it's upright. Okay, so this is showing strength and fortitude when, you know, things are not so easy, because we're in love. And I don't know what it is that you want to say. It might be that you want to say, look, I want and I need reciprocity. It might be that you want to say, I'm in love with you and I think you're in love with me. It might be both of those things. It might be both of those things and more besides. Right, the Four of Cups reversed. So the Four of Cups, if it were upright, would be quite a negative card because it's being closed off to offers of emotion from others. But the Four of Cups reversed is a positive reversal because the meaning is positive. It's becoming open to, you know, the expression of emotion from others once again. So in simple terms, your heart is opening up, it's blossoming like a flower, you know, it's blooming like a rose. You're starting to feel all kinds of feels. You want to know more about this person. You want to, you know, be able to express how you feel about this person, but you're not doing it. You're not delivering that message. You're not communicating with them that you've got all this in your heart and in your mind. Let's get cards for the one that's on your mind, the one that you're currently dealing with or manifesting in the future. They've got the Temperance reversed, so they're having heart flutters and getting all giddy. You know, their emotions are all over the place. Sometimes they might be panicking, feeling anxious, feeling fearful. You know, if they haven't heard from you for a bit, or, you know, they're feeling a kind of way about something. Because this is also the major arcana for Sagittarius, okay? So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, or you could be dealing with someone that's not managing their emotions very well at the moment. They're having mood swings, whether it be like excitement, nervousness, anger, frustration, depression, you know, like this person's mood is all over the place, whoever it is, whether it's a Sagittarius or the Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, or whoever it is, you know, whether they're not any of those signs. Like, it's someone who's feeling jittery or nervous or excited or overwhelmed. You know, Sagittarius is the archer, right? So they need to be calm and feel very level and balanced in order to aim and take shot and shoot that arrow. You know, that's them going for their goals, and they can't do that when they're all over the place. So that's how I know that's like a lack of emotional balance. It doesn't have to be negative, but it could be excitement and being thrilled, or like, why are some of these backwards? That's weird. Ooh, there's a lot of swords here. Look at this, the Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Eight of Swords, they're all up in their head, they're anxious. The Ten of Swords reversed. Now, I'm not exactly sure what order these were in, but it doesn't really matter. What it's telling me, I feel like the Lovers was there. But even so, what it's telling me is the Knight of Pentacles is someone that wishes to go towards the other person and offer them increments of time, money, and energy. It's a knight that's very much looking to date with a view to having a relationship. It isn't a Knight of Wands where it's just hit it and quit it. It isn't Knight of Cups where it's like all airy-fairy and like head in the clouds, you know, Romeo and Juliet, unrealistic. This is like, no, I actually want this to go somewhere. I want to get to the Ten of Pentacles with you. And we've got the Lovers card. Okay, so that is the major arcana for Gemini. The Lovers is the twins. Okay, so it's two people who are destined to be together. I've never noticed that before. Which way are they facing? They're facing towards us, aren't they? And it's like they're coming out of the woods, hand in hand. And it's like wish fulfillment, like this is a divine union, this is two souls that signed a soul contract. In the 5-day, they're supposed to be together. If the 10, I was worried when I saw these cards, because like, oh no, it's loads of swords, but if the 10 of Swords was upright, that would be extreme pain in the end of a cycle of like misery, but it's reversed. So something was painful and it isn't anymore. There's no burden. We're choosing to drop the burdens. And this is swords, but it's 8 of Swords, so that's mental entrapment. It's being trapped in your thoughts, you know, having intrusive thoughts. This person's anxious because they want to secure you. Okay, they want to lock it down. And they're like, here I am. Like, I'm ready to put in my like pentacle. So they want the same as you. They want to invest, like, real for real. Like, they want this to go somewhere. They believe that you are the lovers, that you are soulmates, that you're supposed to be together. And look, you want you recognize this as new love. Now, remember, we can't get the same cards twice because I'm using one deck and you only get one of each card in a 78 card tarot deck. So we can't, it's not like because you haven't got the lovers, you don't believe it's soulmates. It's just that for you, this is new love. You know that it's mutual. You believe that it's mutual and you want equal give and take. You want a partnership. You want someone's time, money, and energy if you're going to give them yours, and you're prepared to fight for it. You're prepared to take it out from the dark, you know, like a plant coming out from the cupboard is going to begin to thrive where it hasn't been able to. It's not being kept in the conditions where it was able to. But this person sees this as, they could be more spiritual than you because they see this as a divine union. And they see this as something that has divine timing, that it's meant to be. And they want to invest in it. No wonder they're excited. No wonder they're getting all in their head and like, you know, they want to lock it down. They don't want to lose you. So that's cute. Let's get one more for them. Right, they have got... They've got the Seven of Cups reversed and the Four of Swords reversed. So when these are upright, it's someone that's taking a breather to reassess like their situation because they're at a crossroads. Normally you get that when someone's had a breakup and they're single and they're thinking about where they want to go next, you know, trying to make a new future, a new plan for themselves, fantasizing about what, you know, life could look like for them in the future. When it's reversed, it's quite amusing because it's someone who's completely restless. They are not willing to breathe and stop and like look around. They know what they want and they spend all day and all night dreaming about it. This person dreaming about their future with you. It's something they really enjoy to think about. It's, do you know what, Aquarius, this is beautiful as a reading. You are on the same wavelength completely. You're on the same wavelength 100%. It's like I could put a mirror down the middle of this and it's the same story. It's the same thoughts and emotions and feelings. It's very reciprocal, very mutual, in terms of what you want out of this, how serious, how secure you wish it to be, how much partnership you're looking for. That's mutual. It's very much mutual. And on the same time frame. So let's get 3 for the outcome, because that could not be any nicer. Now, in the outcome, that's a weird one, because we've got the 4 of Wands reversed. So the 4 of Wands, when it's upright, is 4's a very stable number. It's a card where it's the 1111 card, so it's the most security a couple could have is to be married, you know, to be cohabiting, to be under the same roof. You see the house there? And this would be a celebration where everyone knows that these two people are together. They are, you know, exclusive. There's no one else. And it's being celebrated. So that is about stability. Okay, at the moment in the outcome, it's reversed. So there's a lack of security when it comes to this being out in the open, this being celebrated. That's reversed. Let's get 2 more for the outcome, because I always get 3 cards for the outcome. Now, this is energy for the week ahead, so it doesn't mean that you're going to have instability for the rest of your life. When it comes to this person, it's how things are as things stand next week. Beautiful. Okay, so we had a bit of a wobble when we saw that 4 of Wands reversed. However, with the Wheel of Fortune, see that shooting star? See that black cat at the top? That's good luck. Okay, the wheel has turned in your favour. The devil is at the bottom. If we were in a karmic cycle, if we were about to experience a period of misfortune, the devil would be at the top. The wheel has turned in our favour, so the divine is going to make this a protected connection. You're going to have a period of good luck, of good fortune from now. Usually that's as a result of it's a reward after doing work on yourself. Whatever it is that you were doing that was toxic previously, you've stopped. Whatever red flags you were ignoring, you've now heeded them. Whatever cycle that was karmic, you've broken it. You know, if you were someone that always ran away and you stopped running, it's a reward for doing what needed to be done. The reward is a beautiful love, healing, a healing love, having a more positive self-image, having someone who makes you feel like completely replenished, completely satiated, contented, satisfied, you know, just having the most like positive emotions for oneself and feeling good because someone makes us feel good as well. Look how cute that is. Like that's a major cup. It's an Ace of Cups and it's up on a pedestal, like very much like protected by all the ground around. It looks like it's underground and there's just so much nourishment that it's blooming like anyway. Do you know what I mean? How nice is that? That's very cute. Right, let's get a no contact message. Although I doubt you're in no contact, but this is a message from them. Okay. Ooh. We've got have my kids. I want to have a family with you. I know you'd be an amazing parent. And I dream of the day I can experience raising a family together. You've also got others' opinions. I feel bound by my culture and my family's beliefs on how I should live my life. I'm working towards breaking free from limiting myself based on their beliefs. So this person is worried about judgment. They are worried what people are going to say and think and do when it comes to bringing this connection out into the open. But they're working towards breaking free from that as a limitation, because I mean, look, they see you as destined, they want to have kids with you, they're in love, and this connection is you know, they're thinking about this night and day, they intend to invest, and this connection is protected by the divine, you know, like it's divinely guided, it's protected. So this person, it's, you know, night and day. They don't just think about it occasionally. It's like they love thinking about this. Like it's obsession can sort of have a negative connotation, but they're completely besotted. Let's say they're besotted. You know, this is a love that's enduring. I want to have a family with you. I know you'd be an amazing parent, and I dream of the day I can experience raising a family together. It doesn't get any more serious than that, you know? What's the nature of this connection? So I'm expecting like soulmates or twin flame, something like that. I've messed up my cards. Doesn't matter. Love your shadow. Accept and work with the flaws in yourself so you can learn to accept others as they are. Okay. Love your shadow. Well, the thing that they're working on is others' opinions, so maybe there's someone that's like, in the past they've worried too much what other people will think. I don't know. It does feel like you reach trying to come to terms with this connection and what it means and how people are going to respond to it. It feels quite mutual. I'm too afraid to talk. They might think a lot of stuff, but they're not someone that says it. But then who's another person in this spread that's guilty of that? You, Aquarius, you. Oops. Oh, that's nice. We've got don't hesitate. If you don't resist this, it'll work. There's a better option. Make a list of why. Okay, so why is this connection a good idea? Why is this connection a bad idea? Why am I second guessing my own judgment? Why am I worrying about it? Why am I hesitating? Because if the main thing is that you're worried what people will say and what people think, that's not good enough. That shouldn't be your main concern. That's absolutely not supposed to be your main concern, is it? If you want this connection because you genuinely feel like this is your person and you could be really happy together, that's the main reason for something. That's the main reason for pursuing it. And it's a very big ass reason not to hesitate. There's a lot of people that are patting themselves on the back because they think that they have done everything by the book, that everything's textbook, everything's perfect for them. They're young, they're getting married young, they've been with the person they met at college or at uni, and therefore they're just gonna live like the most perfect life now. They're not gonna have problems. That's fine. Those people can think that way. But if you're 10 years older than that, you might start to be a bit more of a skeptic. If you're 10 years older than that still, you would just not even bother arguing with those people because you know that they're entitled to think like that and feel like that, but they're in a different phase of their life completely. You've got 20 more years of life experience. Potentially you've got more than that or less than that, but it's all relative. And as you get older, you start to realize this grey area. You start to realize that it's all bollocks anyway, because it's snakes and ladders. Life's a game of snakes and ladders. The people that are gloating about getting a house together now will be selling it and trying to divide it in 10 years time, in 20 years time, in 30 years time. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen to everyone that gets married or has children or has a house together. But let's be honest, it happens to a lot. The stats are high. So be careful not to overly gloat. You know, it's nice to be happy. You're allowed to be pleased. But if you gloat about it and you judge other people who are further on in their life, who are rebuilding themselves, who have shown the strength, the courage, the fortitude to put themselves back out there after it's all fallen down, through no fault of their own, it's all fallen down like a house of cards coming down. They've had to rebuild. It's been hard. It's been lonely. They could have done that multiple times. So they're a bigger person than what you're judging them to be. And one day, through no fault of your own, you may find yourself in the same position. So you can cast judgment, but it doesn't mean you're right. And you can worry that other people are going to judge you, but it doesn't mean they're right, does it? And it definitely shouldn't be the priority. Your priority is, am I going to be feeling like I'm with my person, that I can, rest easy knowing I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that's all you need to look out for. I tell you what as well, sometimes you'll expect people to judge you and they'll be actually really supportive. So be careful you're not writing a story that isn't actually going to play out in real life as well. A lot of people who are the same age or older are already on to their second marriage, and maybe they were married to a toxic karmic initially and now they're really happily married. So it's not about not believing in marriage, and it's not about saying people are bad to have been divorced. They're not. People are learning at different rates. They're experiencing connections that are toxic or that have burnt themselves out or become a kind of way, and they're just finding themselves in situations that they need to get out of. It's not anything more than that. It's just life. Don't doubt it. It will cost you. Ask your father. Let me get forgiving. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you're holding on to it. Forgiving helps you to get past it. So these are clarification cards for this person's feelings, why they feel the way that they feel. And I don't think they had too much negative there. Like they are up in their head a little bit. They are worried what people will think, but they're also in a place where they're coming to terms with the past and they're ready to recognize this as a soul union. They probably won't feel secure until they've locked it down though. And it's because they've been let down lots of times previously. It's a Queen of Pentacles. They want security. They want to be financially secure and have a relationship where everyone knows that you're together. They want partnership. We've got secret desires and open hearts. Unspoken needs can plunge you into deep confusion, so they probably need to talk about this. Open hearts. In vulnerability, we talk and reveal, forging deeper connections through honesty. Okay, so they will feel better having a chat about this. And it looks like you will as well. Oops. That's not ideal. Where's that gone? Keeping a promise. This person very loyal to you. It's a past life contract, okay? So they're keeping that promise. They want to fulfill a soul contract with you in this life. Do you ever think about me late at night? They want to know if, like, while they're lying thinking about you, you're lying there thinking about them. I'm sure you are, Aquarius. Guidance. Seek guidance from within. The answers you seek are in the cards. There's a better option. It'll cost you. Don't hesitate. Ask your father. Don't doubt it. If you don't resist, make a list of why. Why are you doing this? If you start to like freak out and think, oh my God, this is such a big deal though, make a list of why it feels good and what, you know, what is the reason we're doing this? Well, because I feel like it's my person. It makes my heart full. I've not been this excited about anything in years since I can remember. It's making me think, you know, all kinds of things. Like, I feel all kinds of ways. I wouldn't be able to be happy without it now that I've found it. Like, it's kind of sweet because you both have worries and stuff, but you're in it together. Do you know what I mean? And what it says is, if you talk about it, you'll be bonded together, and it'll be like, you know, like you've got this lovely like bubble of strength and protection to cope with all the external noise. But you're not the first people to go through this, and there'll be people that are near to you that have got through this kind of experience and they're well into the other side of it. So not everyone's going to judge, are they? So you got to like pull it back and keep it in its box and keep it in perspective, because anxiety comes from fear, and fear is created by you. At the end of the day, people that love you should want to see you happy, and they should be supportive. They are not there to cause you trouble. I don't need to get a time in because you're already in union. It's already begun. What else do I need to get for you? Your destiny is intertwined with the stars. It's already written that this is going to happen. You're being rewarded. If someone's telling you this is wrong or you start to doubt it, You are literally being rewarded this love. It's protected by the universe because you worked on yourself. You worked on yourself. And so did this person, and this is your reward. The wheel has turned in your favour after a period of struggle, after recognising the blocks, the challenges, the toxic stuff. And you don't have to like hate yourself for it. This is a part of life. This is the lesson that you were supposed to learn. It's probably the biggest one that you were supposed to learn. We make the most development and undergo the most growth during periods of intense challenge. So this is your reward after a shit period, basically. It's not personal. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. So obviously, if someone is worried that, they're in a marriage and things not good between them at the moment, and or they could be like really happy, and then the thought of another person cheating, they might like think, oh my god, that's terrible, like I would never like do that, or I think that's terrible because the thought of like someone doing that to me is really awful. That's them projecting their situation onto you. They don't know what your relationship was like. If you're getting dishes thrown at your head, or you're like, having like a joint bank account constantly drained, or someone's bringing chaos to your door, or, controlling what you wear, or I don't know, making you do everything like work and the home, and they're sitting around doing whatever. That's not for you to stay in it because people don't agree with, breaking up a marriage. That's not for you to stay in it. That's not a prison sentence for you to take on because it makes other people feel comfortable. Like, what is that bullshit? Even if like someone's not doing anything extreme to you, but they're just kind of going through the motions and you are, what's that? Like, why am I carrying on doing this so everyone else doesn't have to do a separate school run, or they don't have to support me somehow, or they don't like that it might be catching with their marriage or something? It's not going to catch. Everyone's individual relationships is everyone's individual relationships. They're unique. People's life lessons and journeys and emotional intelligence and experiences are different and unique. So we shouldn't be telling someone what to do because of how it makes us feel, People will do that because they're human and it's a reaction rather than a response. So you just got to forgive people, haven't you? But there will be people who are supportive. I am completely engaged in what I do in the here and now. I call it play instead of work. I'm deeply fulfilled by all that I do. So you've got to find ways to lighten the mood, to let yourself out of that zone of worry and into a place of being carefree, distracted, get hobbies, think about things an appropriate amount, and then stop it. It's cognitive behavioral therapy, is not letting your thoughts control you, but coming out of that and nipping it in the bud and doing whatever you need to do to distract yourself, really, so you're not just getting in your head constantly. Magic. There is magic and miracles all around me. Where others see coincidence, I see evidence of life synchronicities. I love filling life with wonder and magic. It's way more fun that way. You know, so reasons to make decisions are, it makes me feel exhilarated, it brings me back to life, I feel hope again, I feel young again, I feel excited, I feel optimistic. I recognise, I knew for a long time I wasn't happy like how things were, but didn't think anyone would be interested in me, or didn't think I deserved, you know, to feel a kind of way, or thought it was normal, or was worried what people would think. People told me to stay. You've got to, yeah, life can be a wild ride and stuff can come up that you didn't go looking for, or you can have experiences that feel, you know, like you just can't understand why this has happened, but it makes sense afterwards, doesn't it? A lot of stuff makes sense afterwards, so you got to trust the journey. It's a beautiful outcome. Let's get you an angel number and I will let you go. I know, for what it's worth, I know people that have stayed together, people in my family have done that, and it never turned out well. It never turned out well. It got toxic AF. And you would just feel uncomfortable being in the same room because they were passive aggressive with each other or directly aggressive with each other. It was awful. So don't think that, you know, you can walk around judging other people, or let other people judge you and control how you live your life, because it doesn't get better when you do that and you stay anyway. It turns to shit usually. 0220, act on your idea. Realistic and practical approach goals. Divine timing, ambition, cooperation, discipline. You have the benefit of good fortune. You can do anything. Oh, sorry. And if you use your wise judgment, you can do anything. In this place, you can reach new heights. You should act on your potential when you see this pattern. 0220. Since what you plant will grow. You're about to experience a spectacular ascent. Wow. Don't resist. The answers you seek are in the cards. Make a list of why you're doing this, why you ending what you were in. It'll cost you. Don't hesitate. Ask your father. There is a better option. So that you might have some sort of plan on how you're going to approach things moving forwards, and it's saying ask your father, but you are being told to act on your idea. Take a realistic and practical approach. Divine timing is at play. There will be cooperation and discipline. You're about to experience a spectacular ascent. It's talking about using wise judgment and the benefit of good fortune. I wonder if you're going to see 0220 at some point and then you'll be like, it's time. Interesting. Okay, I hope you liked this reading. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, hype the channel, and I'll see you in the next one, Aquarius. Yeah, I've got colleagues who, 2 female colleagues actually, both really classy, really great jobs, very interesting people, very self-assured. Their partner was all for moving in with them into a house. It was all arranged. You know, they made the purchase. The day before they were moving in, the guy left, completely got cold feet and backed out. And I think people feel under pressure. Both were in the late 20s, and I think people feel under pressure, honestly, like they should be doing a certain thing by now. Their friends are all doing it. I'm getting to a certain age, and you know, they take the opportunity that's being offered them, and then they really, you know, as soon as it's getting to the point where it's time to move in or it's time to do whatever, it's like, well, oh, I don't want to. I don't actually want to. You know, I did it because it shut everyone up asking me about whatever. It made me look good. You know, I was successful by association, and then they don't want it. So I think with the best will in the world, we're all human, and judgment can get you to places that you don't want to be. Fear of judgment, or, you know, doing things because you think it's the right thing to do. And there was nothing wrong with that person, or, you know, on paper it's a smart match, but that doesn't mean that it's the right thing for you, does it? And ultimately, if you're not happy in your situation, you're going to undo it anyway at some point. So it's much better to live authentically. I'm sure those people, even though they left really good options, they probably felt relieved after, because they just thought, I'm not like going down a path that I feel isn't mine anymore. It's a weird world. You got to follow your heart. Pisces. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. How is Pisces feeling in this first week of October 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Pisces is feeling first of all. Seven of Pentacles. So Pisces, you're in a reflective mood. Looking back at the past, has enough been achieved? Has enough been cultivated? Okay, 7 is a number of reflection. Pentacles are increments of time, money, and energy. And this image would eventually become the 10 of Pentacles, wouldn't it? At the moment, we've got 7 and we're looking back at the past. 8 is the future. 2 more for how Pisces is feeling. Ooh, Pisces. You're feeling victorious. You're feeling successful, celebrated. You're in a really good position. That is a really nice vibe. Oh, that's weird, the way that came out in the challenge position. The Empress. Holy moly, I feel like I should curtsy. The Empress is the major arcana that's shared by Taurus and Libra. The Empress is all 4 queens, okay? Whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. You are someone who is incredibly abundant when it comes to love, when it comes to success in your career. You're the ultimate empath, the ultimate nurturer. I don't know why it's come out in the challenge, okay? When the Empress is upright, she is feeling herself, she knows her worth. The Queen of Swords is someone who's intelligent, pragmatic, logical, strategic. They think ahead, they plan ahead, they get their knowledge, their research. Knowledge is power. They're a fantastic speaker, writer. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who is very material. They have a good relationship with the material world, earning money, spending money, providing, others with love and gifting. They look good. They make a nice home that looks really good. The Queen of Wands is someone who's ambitious, confident, assertive, a go-getter, goal-orientated, seductive. The Queen of Cups is someone who's emotionally intelligent, patient, forgiving, understanding, knows how others would be feeling about something, very intuitive. So this is the highest status in the tarot deck. It's equal to the Emperor. Why is it in the challenge? You've had great success recently and you achieved a lot in the past. You could be middle-aged or older. You could be retired. You could be semi-retired. You could be a homemaker, a homeowner. You could own a business or be high up in an organization, but you are able to create from zero as many times as you need to, and you are very attractive to whoever you want to be attractive to. Let's see who's showing up for you. I'm very intrigued. You could be married, you don't have to be. You could be widowed, you don't have to be. You could be divorced, don't have to be. You could be single. Right, who's showing up for you is someone that's very anxious. There's a bed because they sit up awake at night, worrying about this, worrying about wherever they are, or about missing you. I don't know. Let's get some more. No, it's not meant to be that one. The Judgment is a call to act. The Hanged Man reversed is stubbornness. And the Eight of Cups reversed, refusal to acknowledge the end of a relationship, trying to stop the other person from leaving. Okay, someone's terrified that you are just rising through the ranks, that you are better than ever, stronger than ever, more beautiful than ever, more handsome than ever, more confident than ever. And this could be what's knocking you off your pedestal a little bit, is like having thoughts of leaving, or knowing that you're not 100% happy and they're kind of picking up the vibes, and then you're like, I know that they know that I'm thinking about this stuff. They don't want a breakup, whoever this is. They're very anxious about it. They're very stubborn about it. Nine of Wands upright, the Six of Pentacles upright, and the Three of Wands. They're prepared to do whatever it takes. If this is a rough patch, they will make it so. They will make it right. They will tip the scales, you know, to make this fair where it hasn't been. They're prepared to do whatever it takes and take action. Even if something continues to be a struggle, they want to keep going with it. Their stance is very clear. Whatever you feel is being unfair, they will right those wrongs. You know, perhaps you said, look, unless we have children, I'm out. Or unless you propose to me, I'm out. And you're throwing down the gauntlet, and they might be like, oh my God, like, you know, I can't lose you. Like, yes, I will like propose, or yes, I will have, you know, a baby with you, or yes, I will relocate for you, you know, like, maybe you don't want children, maybe you've got grown children and you can't have children anymore. Whatever it is that they need to do, they're prepared to do it. But I can't tell if, well, I think you're already in a relationship with them, because it says the Eight of Cups reverse, so that's already in a relationship. It's been going on for a while, because nines are at the, you know, they're not the end of a cycle, but they're near the end. And you've got a couple of nines there. So something's been going on for a while. Let's get 3 for the outcome. I might do what I don't normally do, and I might clarify your side, because I want to know what your motivation is. Let's see. King of Wands in the challenge position for the outcome. The King of Wands is someone who's in their power. They're sitting confidently. You know, he's kind of like slapping that in his hand, isn't he? Like waiting for someone to just come towards him so he can breathe fire onto them. Like, it's someone very confident, very assertive, almost arrogant. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. They're goal orientated, they're action orientated, they're a doer. They plan and they act, and it might be them, because you're showing up as the Empress. They're kind of in this, like, I want to take action, I'm not having this. They're very stubborn. They feel called to act because they are anxious as hell. They want to work on this. They want to make it fair so that you stay. And it's really challenging their, like, confidence, that how they see themselves, like, it's knocking them off their game as well. Five of Cups. This person's in deep regret. Grief, sadness, loss, regret. It's a card of grief. I mean, you can grieve a relationship because it's like the person's died, because you're not going to be in their company anymore. You're not going to live together anymore. You're not going to see their friends, their family, them. You're not going to be physically around them. It's it is like the person passed away. It's very, very hard to get over the loss of a relationship. The Sun card. That's really strange to me, because you've got grief and then immediately after there's just like, there's no burden anymore. It's like the sun's shining, things are being illuminated. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, the Sun card is a naked baby riding a horse bareback, giggling with the sun coming up behind it, like not a care in the world. See, that's like a really, like a very like stark contrast to have the Five of Cups immediately followed by the Sun card. It's like one of you just feels like devastated and in grief stricken, and the other one's like, fucking chill, like, love it, best thing I've ever done, like, to leave. Let's get a new contact message. There could be an age gap. There doesn't have to be. You could be older than them. You could just be more mature than them. Or you could both be mature, but somehow you've had a glow up in the way that you look, in the way that your confidence is, your finances. It's like you're looking at the past, you're looking at where you are, and you don't see this person in your future. And it's not like you've just come up with this random. It's like a period of contemplation where it's like, I think I've outgrown this situation. And they are gutted. They're absolutely devastated. Not the right time. I'm overwhelmed with responsibilities. I don't have the time or energy for a relationship. So they could have been someone that was like, do you know what, I'm me in person and I can't be answering your phone calls, or, you know, you need to get hobbies because I need all of this like time to myself. I don't want to maintain a relationship. I like to be independent. They could also have a home, they could have children, they could have a high-powered job, they could be a widow, they could be a divorcee, and they could be like single, but they just are so used to being independent, they're like, well, I don't want to wife you up or husband you up because I like having my own space, you know? Not the right time. I'm overwhelmed with responsibilities. They could have a lot of stress in work, or, you know, problems with a divorce, or I'm trying to think what responsibilities would be. Maybe they're trying to sell a home or look after parents. I don't know, whatever it is. They kind of neglected the relationship, and it's made you feel like, you see how the light's shining out of the Empress? That's like your sunshine, yeah. And like people are attracted to you because of your sunshine, and like when they don't treat you right, the light goes out, and it's like they've taken your sunshine, you know, after like love bombing you, or after like the initial sort of infatuation. They sort of let you down or distance themselves from you, and it's not really anything to do with you. It's about them, and what's going on in their heart and in their head and in their mind. So It's kind of making you feel less than. What's the nature of this connection, please? But they're having major regret. They're like, shit, what have I done? I've like lost like the best thing. They want to work on it and they're just devastated. Forgive and release. You are stronger when you carry love and forgiveness rather than anger. So even if you're frustrated by this person, this situation, you don't have to like it, but you can accept that their baggage is way too heavy and you don't need to carry that. You don't need to be like this. You need to be like this. Okay, so I think it's lightening the load for you to just live and let live, you know, and if you get answers one day, you get answers. If you don't, you're still you and you're still amazing and you're on track for, you know, more success, more enjoyment, more fulfillment in your life. I once went out with someone who was very successful, but they only had 1 hour a week for me. Do you know what I mean? That does not a relationship make, mate. 1 hour a week while you're like rising through the ranks, while you're like writing a book, while you're working for a charity over your summers. I don't like feel maintained. I don't feel noticed, valued, cared for. If something's wrong with me, you're not able to be there for me. 1 hour a week, like, no, that's not. That's not what what a relationship is, sorry. He wasn't even taking care of himself. Do you know what I mean? He shouldn't have been looking for a relationship at that point in his life. And at some point, for his own health, he needed to find balance. And I hope that he has done. Because the grass was 2 feet tall in the back garden. There was pot noodles and dirty mugs all over the house. And his health was deteriorating because he was just obsessed with like making himself so busy. And I don't know why he was spreading himself so thin. I don't know why he was doing that, but it wasn't healthy. So it crumbled. You know, it's not always because someone's a knobhead that is like wanting to play the field. It's not about that. For some people, like some people, they don't have the capacity. I've gone out with someone who had PTSD. They didn't have the capacity to like function normally, and you know, he tried to have a relationship and the initial excitement just became like not enough to stave off the thoughts of suicide and whatever that he had from being in the army. And his moods would just, it was like a split personality. He kept swinging through different moods and it was quite scary. So that kind of went boom. You know, there's lots of reasons why. Did anything turn over, or am I just... I don't think it did it? There's lots of reasons why people can't, you know... There's someone who was grieving and they just weren't emotionally available. They were in grief, so... kind of put paid to that, really. Ace of Wands. They want a rebirth. Well, I'm sorry, but like me and this person who was giving me like 1 hour a week, we were apart and it was devastating. And then when we did like try getting back together, it was gone. Like it was a moment in time. And if that magic's there and you don't secure the relationship, you don't feed that plant, you don't water it, and you don't give it time, money and energy, and you don't cultivate it, it's like it's like the flame goes out and you can't just relight it. Unless you're twin flames and it's like some sort of particular connection, if you don't invest into something at the beginning, you can't just go, do you know what, I'll just put that on ice and come back to it in like a year's time or 6 months' time. It doesn't work like that. It was like the chemistry was right then, and you try giving it another go, and there's just no spark, and you're like, it's gone, isn't it? And they're like, yeah. And it's gutting, but it's like, you know, that's for you to think about and reflect on as individuals, the pair of you, because maybe they shouldn't have gone looking for a relationship at a point in their life where they're being hyper productive, because you can have years where you're being hyper productive and that's okay, but you're unlikely to be able to sustain a relationship with someone during that year. So don't go looking for it. That's the answer. Like, or maybe he should have redressed the balance in his life, and this will be the lesson, is that like, you can't do everything. You can't be all things to everyone. You're going to have to sacrifice something that was making you really happy if you do that. You know, take it as a lesson learned. Like, I think this person's going to have to take it as a lesson learned, you know? It doesn't necessarily mean they can put you on ice and come back to it, because even if you want that, you come back to it and both of you want it, and it's like, it's just not doing what it was doing before, and it's a shame. It's very frustrating, but it happens. You've got 2 cards about forgiving here. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you are holding on to it. Forgiving helps you get past it. You literally got that twice from 2 different oracle decks. Forgive. Consumed. Extinguish doubt by having open communication. The only way you would sorry, the only way you would like be able to sort this out is through having a conversation, really. Seeing each other face to face would be ideal. Video call if you're in different locations and it's not possible to just get to each other. Check yourself. It's definitely on them. Whatever's caused this to derail is on them, and they know that. They know they fucked up. They dropped the ball. They were too complacent. They failed to, you know, to nurture this and secure it and stabilize it. They failed to do that for whatever reason. They know it's on them. Losing you taught me love isn't about possession. They didn't think you'd leave, you know. They didn't think that you'd leave. They thought like this was very like set in stone, that you were so attracted to them that you would like accept, you know, them being barely there, or accept them like overly focused on other things, work, kids, some sort of passion project, or hiatus in another country, you know, some sort of round the world trip, or like whatever would take someone away for extended periods of time, or have them so heavily distracted and not focused on you enough to maintain a relationship. They realise is you know, gym guys are nice to look at, but it's kind of annoying the way they're always in the gym. It's like, God, do you really have to go and work out for a second time in the same day? Do you really have to, like... It's like they can't just do it and then have other, like, sides to the personality, and I shouldn't really generalise, but it's like a type of person that... It's like there's not a lot else going on with them. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit like, oh, why has that got to come first over everything? It's boring. Bloody boring. Just like... Maybe it's because I'm a creative. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself, but I don't think you should necessarily adopt that as like your whole personality and character, your whole identity. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's just me. Like, for example, I went out with someone who's a body, like, they do like competitions, you know, like for body conditioning and stuff. And it was like the whole year was planned out in terms of like availability, because it was like the start of like training, building up to the date of the competition, and it would be like several months of the year. And so it dictated like what we could eat and like when we could see each other, and like you wouldn't be able to go to like certain things, and it was so intense. Like, it was impressive, but it's like if something's going to take over to that degree, that is going to have an impact on like your relationships. It is going to have an impact on... Like, he was in such a foul mood one time. We met up and he was just in a fucking mood because he was like hungry, because he like really obviously wanted to eat, and he was like shredding and like he really wanted to eat, and he hadn't eaten anything, and then he was like, I don't want to eat shit, because I was like ordering fast food, and it's like, okay. Nice to see you too. Go and fucking eat something then, you absolute wanker. Stop being angry. Oh my God. Just like, yeah. Anything that requires like extreme discipline and like sacrifice, like that is just... That's quite difficult for everyone else to like live with. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not... I guess it's not wrong, but maybe you need to be around other people who are doing that at the same time, so that you're not taking it out on them, because it wasn't very nice. Just another example of my wonderful love life. Oh God, okay. I must say, gym guys are the least judgmental when it comes to like bodies though, and they're very happy to go out with someone who's got quite a normal figure, because they just recognise that it's a body, isn't it? I find them actually to be the least judgmental, even though I've just heavily judged them. They're probably the least judgmental when it comes to exercise and weight and body image. Be more generous. Your advice, Pisces, is to forgive this person. You're angry with them. You feel disappointed in how they've been towards you. But they are genuine in the fact that they are overwhelmed. The fact that they don't want to lose you, and the fact that they know they've dropped the ball. You're being asked to be generous of heart, which I wasn't expecting. So there must be something that's like valuable about this person. You know, you like their character, you like what they stand for, you recognise that they're a hard worker, a grafter, you recognise that they're a fantastic parent, you recognise that they have ambition, creativity, adventure, like self-discipline. Like there's something you really like about this person as well. They do want to make it right. So it may be that there's a period apart and then the balance is redressed, or they apologise and it's not long at all. Let's try and have a dig. What's been going on with this person? Deadly combo, dangerous when together, triggering, explosive. There could have been a lot of arguments, and I've done this. I've absolutely taken someone to town that I really loved and really just wanted their time. This is another person. But they were so like, you know, when someone's too passive and they're too obedient. Like, he was in the military and he was someone that was like super reliable, but he was like a people pleaser. So if work was selfish and booked a course for him, and it's a general course and it was like a supermarket, so it's kind of like workplace where there's always like a high turnover of staff coming and going, that's not like the only option for doing that course. If you say, I can't make that date, we've already got annual leave booked and a holiday booked, we need this time together, me and my partner, you know, is there another date that this could be done that's a few weeks out? Like, it's going to be possible. But he would not say anything to work, and I was like losing my shit because this wasn't the first time, and I was like, you're not going to get into trouble. They've just not looked at the calendar. You had annual leave booked, that was legit. It's been booked for a while. You just need to communicate with them that isn't going to work, that someone's booked that date without looking at the calendar. And he just wouldn't do it. And it was just stuff like that just made me lose respect over time, because, and I hated that all I wanted was for him to make it more possible for us to have a successful relationship and help the relationship thrive, because I love him, because I want to be with him. And it's like he wasn't doing his bit to kind of protect it. He wasn't a bad person, but he was being too passive, and they were the kind of workplace that just ate you up, really. You know, it was like a machine and you're just a cog, you're just a number, like very big company, chain of supermarkets. And, you know, this was in Italy, it was my Italian, and they didn't give a fuck whose like feet they treaded on. They didn't give a crap. Like, they would get so much work out of you. They literally had him over a barrel, do you know what I mean? And like, he'd go in extra early to get it all the way it was supposed to be and come out extra late, and you couldn't like clock in the time that you went in. You were supposed to clock in like half an hour before service started, and he was like, it's not possible to prepare everything in half an hour, so I've got to get in earlier, but I'm not allowed to clock those hours. So he was working overtime and not getting paid for it, and it wasn't like he was trying to get overtime out of them. It wasn't physically possible to do what they were asking for in the amount of time they were giving and paying for. It wasn't possible. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a good company and that they cared about their team. You know, they would book shit that was quite standard. They like core training for them to do. It was probably coming up frequently because the number of staff that are coming and going all the time. And I mean, that's retail down to a T, isn't it? But, you know, it was like, he was like, oh, I can't do that because it'll get me in trouble. And it's like, no, it's just protecting, it's having certain boundaries. Do you know what I mean? Being like assertive. It's not being arrogant, it's just protecting the relationship. So he wouldn't do it. And I was just like, I can't. He started losing weight, he started losing his hair. And then I felt like a shit person because I was arguing with him. And like, I felt like I was making him more stressed. But it was frustration because I was like, our relationship's starting to fail because you won't just do the thing. Oh, it was so distressing. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad. They're genuinely like struggling, but they genuinely want this and they want to make it right. Okay, so you're being asked to forgive and kind of let live. If there's a time apart, there'll be a time apart, but they're asking you to just not take it out on this person because it's, you know, people succumb to stress, and I don't think it's something they've not got bad intentions. Okay. I don't know what else to say about that, really. I think they thought they were handling it, but they've realised they weren't handling it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're falling short. When will there be a reconciliation if these two people are apart? When will there be a reconciliation? Around July. Like, for example, if you left and then they just thought, fucking hell, this job has like cost me the love of my life, they might change their workplace. Or, you know, if they share custody of children, they might say, look, I need you to like be a bit more give and take with the kids because you know, I've lost a relationship out of this and I really think I've fucked up. I need you to like help me out. Or I think they're going to adjust something over the next, how many months is that away? Like 9 months away. They're going to like make quite big, significant changes in their life and then be like, look, I've made the changes that I needed to make. If Pisces doesn't want this person and they want new love, when will they meet new love? Not the right time yet. I don't think you're over this person, actually. I think you do want them. Hold lightly. I take the things and people that come into my life lightly, not holding on too tight so that when it comes time for them to go, they may go smoothly. This does not mean I love any less, but that I am open to the changes of life. It's quite heavy, that, isn't it? Forgive and release. Be more generous. Don't make it messy. You never know, like, what's going to happen, do you? Like, if you parted on bad terms and this person was devastated and then they got hit by a car or something, God forbid. But you don't want to leave things like that, especially if you've got, like, a lot of love for this person. Especially if one day you hoped that you'd reconcile. It's never good to leave things on shitty terms unless they've really fucked you over. you know, and they were fucking nasty as, it's probably better to like leave things on better terms. No matter how upset you are, you just don't know what could happen, do you? I'm not saying that at all, by the way. It's just an example of like, and we have got about coming back together around July and not the right time. So it's like something could be a bit toxic or failing because it's not the right time, but we need to kind of like have unconditional love for this person and let them work things out for themselves and give them space. And what it's supposed to be, it'll be. Extinguish doubt by having open communication. Forgive them and let them go. Be generous. You've been triggering each other, having arguments. Serenity. Find serenity in nature's embrace. Nature is your sanctuary. I'm so sorry if this is your story, because this is really a dark, you know, tough time. Can feel really lonely, really isolating, really sad, but maybe it's not as deep as that, you know, and it's more about the potential of what could have been, because I've given you quite a few different scenarios of like things that I've lived through. Some of them were really serious, we were living together. Some was like more like I was sad for the potential and like the fact something was a non-starter with someone that I was dating. But I do feel like this is more of a relationship because of the Eight of Cups reversed. I think it was something quite established. Allow for the change, allow for the transition, even though you're not, you know, loving it. Find nature, you know, to gain some sort of sanctuary from this and get yourself grounded. Try to get some relief from it. Let's get you a good fortune card and an angel number. Your dreams hold the key to your future, so pay attention. Ooh, when you go to sleep tonight, you might dream something, or in the next week or so. And it's going to be like a sign or a signal about where you're supposed to be. Oops. Let's get you an angel number. 2424, good times, leisure, rest, holiday, pleasure, love, affection, kindness, and happiness. You are worthy of affection, leisure, and pleasure. If you tell your family and friends how you feel, you'll find that you're all on the same page and can work together effectively. Many people are rooting for you. If you spread love, it will find its way back to you multiplied. I mean, the words in there. This is all about like you wanting more quality time with the people that you love, and you wanted more quality time from them. They couldn't give it to you. So for now, you got to release it and let it go. Okay. But communication's very important. And if you find that it's just culminating in horrible arguments, then you've kind of got to draw a line under it, even though it's awful. You're not giving up, like you've given it 110%, and now it's up to them, isn't it? It's up to them to grieve for the relationship and move on, or grieve for the relationship and then change everything and come back for you. But you need to be out in nature. You need to, you know, find solace with friends and family and people that are giving you their time. Don't overly isolate yourself, okay? Because this is tough. And try to forgive this person for, it may be a limitation of theirs, or it may be something they have no control over, but it does seem like they've fallen short, and they know that. They did want to fix it, but maybe it just isn't going to work under these conditions. And around July, summer next year, you could well get them returning. I hope this resonates. You have my full sympathies. If you liked this reading, if it resonates, please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost. Support the channel for me, hype the channel, and I will see you in the next one, Pisces. I hope it all works out for you. You'll definitely have to drop comments. I don't allow them on YouTube because people can be quite nasty. But if you're watching on TikTok, let me know if it resonates, because I post exactly the same content. I split up the lives into individual signs, and then I post them on YouTube and on TikTok. So you can, if you do want to communicate with me, you can watch me on TikTok and comment on there. You're always welcome to ask for a personal reading as well. The PayPal is in the channel description. The link is there. You click on the link, you give me £18, and there's a space to write a question or tell me what kind of reading you want, whether it's health, career, finance, education, major life decisions, love, general, past, present, future reading. Whatever it is that you want, you can tell me in there. I know some people don't use PayPal or can't use PayPal, so if you email me, we can I can give you my bank details maybe. I need to check my emails now, actually. Take care. Have a nice rest of your day or evening.